Now at 5 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, false school threat reports lead to student arrests in Victoria. The sheriff's urgent warning to families. Plus, relief could be coming for drivers at a crowded North Navarro intersection. The city's plan to improve traffic safety. And road work near Riverside Park draws complaints from residents. Why one man says the project is making things worse.
We're looking at the calendar thinking, shouldn't we be getting out of the 90s soon? And the answer is yeah, soon, but not just yet. We had a couple of little isolated showers pop up today, but they're very light, not as bad as yesterday. And we'll be taking a look at what to expect for the rest of the week and the tropics. All that coming up in a moment.
Plus, A.J. Louderback seeks another term representing District 30, the freshman lawmaker's accomplishments and future goals. You're watching 25 News Now at 5. Good afternoon and thanks for being with us. I'm Shauna Curry. Several Victoria ISD students are facing serious consequences this school year for making a false report of campus threats. Just yesterday, Victoria County deputies arrested 3 students, 2 at Howell Middle School, 1 at East High School, as well as 2 elementary students last week. Sheriff Justin Marr tells 25 News Now his department has a zero-tolerance policy for these incidents and is urging parents to talk with their children about the seriousness of making a false threat.
We don't have the luxury of taking it for granted. We're gonna enforce the law and keep everybody there safe, and we want them to feel safe. The parents need to understand they need to talk to their kids and explain to them the consequences. There will be consequences for their actions. Kids, there's no joking. That's not going to get you out of it. If the threat has been made or the alarming statement causes a reaction, action will be taken.
Sheriff Marr says the district cannot afford leniency for any kind of threat, emphasizing the importance of student safety on Victoria campuses. And he does want students to report true concerns. Sheriff Marr says students who make reports in good faith will not be penalized. A trial date is set for a man accused of killing his mother. Trayvon Martinez was first ruled incompetent to stand trial last year because of mental illness, but doctors later found him competent in May after treatment at a state facility. The 21-year-old is accused of murder after police say an SUV crashed on East Water Street last July. Then officers found his mother inside the vehicle with life-threatening injuries. She later died. Martinez is set to return to court February 18th for a pretrial hearing, with the trial scheduled to begin March 2nd. The Edna Police Department says it is investigating concerns about possible misuse of booster funds. The case is now with the Jackson County District Attorney's Office. Chief Kenny Pyle says details cannot be released yet to protect the investigation, but stresses all allegations are being taken seriously and handled based on evidence, not relationships or status. He also reminds the community no one is above the law. Anyone with credible information is urged to contact Edna Police or the DA's office. This brings us to our viewer poll for the day. Who should be in charge of managing Booster Club funds? Is it school administrators, the leaders of the Booster Club, independent auditors, or law enforcement? We want to hear from you. Visit crossroadstoday.com/vote to let us know. And right now, just over half, 51% of voters feel that independent auditors should, 50% now, should be in charge of making sure that those funds are used appropriately. So continue voting. We'll have another look coming up on 25 News Now at 6. A new traffic light could be coming to North Navarro. The city of Victoria is looking to team up with TxDOT on a new traffic light at Broadmoor and Navarro, right by Kohl's and Sam's Club. TxDOT says the intersection needs one after a traffic study this summer. The city would put in $120,000 toward the design and setup, while TxDOT would cover the bulk of construction, about $540,000. The project ties in with plans to widen Broadmoor to 3 lanes, helping with the growing retail area. If approved tonight, design is already underway, with construction expected to wrap up by the fall of 2027. Well, Victoria Road is getting a makeover, but one local resident is having problems with the project. 25 News Now reporter Ray Mosley spoke with the resident, and he joins us now with more. Ray.
Yes, Shauna, local resident Patrick Hathaway is upset with the way the road looks, calling it a mess. Hathaway says there was at least 4 people working on the area near McCray, close to Riverside Park. The city's project will rebuild the road from McCray to Mockingbird. Crews will remove the old surface, strengthen the base, lay a support grid, add a new layer of limestone, seal it, and then put down a fresh layer of asphalt. He says the road is deteriorating and the asphalt is breaking through the road.
At this point, how long is this going to become a huge pothole and damage a vehicle? Just get it fixed. It's a danger when it's not fixed.
Hathaway mentions if the road isn't fixed properly, depending on the weather, a pothole can form and cause damage to someone's tire. In addition to the complete reconstruction from McCray to Mockingbird, the city will put a fresh overlay on the road from McCray to Red River. Shauna?
All right, thank you, Ray. And potholes are more than a nuisance. The cracks in the craters can damage vehicles, they can drain wallets and frustrate drivers. Today we found these potholes at Nimitz and Colorado Street. Show us the pothole or potholes that are putting a bump in your commute. Is it causing issues for your vehicle or is it just an eyesore? We want to know. Email us at staff@crossroadstoday.com. Well, some warm temperatures out there still, but we are getting that glimpse of fall. Let's go to Chief Meteorologist Mac Perez for a first look at our forecast. Mac.
Well, thanks, Shauna. At least the mornings are comfortable, you know. The daytime still staying in the 90s. This afternoon, couple of little showers popped up. There's Victoria, there's 59. You can see most of it is just north of the city. Late this afternoon, it popped up and is rolling basically toward the Cuero area. So Cuero's getting the little rain right about now. Nothing major in terms of rain for the next couple days. But as we get to the weekend, the rain chance increases. That means we get more clouds, and that means the temperature will come down a little bit. We'll be taking a look at that and talking about the tropics. All that coming up in a moment. Back to you, Shauna.
The suspect accused of assassinating political activist Charlie Kirk will soon appear in court for the first time. This after the Utah County Attorney held a press conference announcing official charges against him. ABC's Jacqueline Lee has more from the courthouse in Provo, Utah.
Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray announcing official charges against 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, accused of shooting and killing political activist Charlie Kirk. Robinson facing 7 counts, including aggravated murder, felony discharge of a firearm, and obstruction of justice, witness tampering, and committing a violent offense in the presence of a child.
I am filing a notice of intent to seek the death penalty.
Kirk was hit by a single gunshot while speaking on the campus of Utah Valley University last week.
After shooting Mr. Kirk, Robinson hid the gun, discarded the clothing he wore when he fired the rifle, and told his roommate to delete incriminating text messages and not talk to police.
But officials say the roommate is cooperating and shared messages between the two after the shooting. Officials say Robinson pointed the roommate to a note left behind.
The roommate looked under the keyboard and found a note that stated, quote, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it."
Officials say over text messages, Robinson telling the roommate he needed to go back to get the rifle, then texting, "To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I'm sorry to involve you." The roommate asking, "Why did you do it?" Robinson texting, "I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out." The Utah County Attorney also revealing new information about what Robinson's family has told investigators.
As they discussed the situation, Robinson implied that he was the shooter and stated that he couldn't go to jail and just wanted to end it. When asked why he did it, Robinson explained there is too much evil and the guy, referring to Charlie Kirk, spreads too much hate.
No one else has been charged in the shooting, but investigators are still interviewing friends and family of the suspect to figure out how and why this happened. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Provo, Utah.
In New York, a judge has dropped 2 charges against 27-year-old Luigi Mangione, but he is still facing second-degree murder in the death of Brian Thompson, a health insurance executive shot outside a Midtown hotel last December. Thompson was the former CEO of United Healthcare. Mangione, who has pleaded not guilty, appeared in court today in shackles and prison garb. About 24 people were there to watch, some showing support with Free Luigi shirts. No trial date has been set yet in either the state or federal case. District 30 State Representative A.J. Louderback says he's running for re-election. Louderback, first elected in 2024, previously served 4 terms as Jackson County Sheriff. During his first session as a representative, Louderback passed 11 bills, including legislation moving the University of Houston-Victoria into the Texas A&M system, and served on the House Disaster Preparedness Committee after the deadly Hill Country floods. The Victoria Fire Department will host its annual fire prevention shows this October at the Victoria Fine Arts Center. To read more about this, come to crossroadstoday.com. And remember, your news, weather, and sports are streaming 24/7 at crossroadstoday.com. Stay with us. Straight ahead on 25 News Now at 5. More parents are hitting the brakes on childhood vaccines. The new poll numbers that have health experts worried. And the Sundance Kid rides into the sunset, celebrating Robert Redford's remarkable life and lasting legacy. We turn now to the state of child vaccinations in America. New figures show parents these days are increasingly skeptical. ABC's Morgan Norwood has the details.
A new poll reveals just how many parents are now choosing not to vaccinate their children. The Washington Post finding 1 in 6 parents have either delayed or skipped some of the standard vaccines for their kids. The survey finding 9% of parents now say they've opted out of the MMR vaccine, which protects against the measles, mumps, and rubella.
That creates these unfortunate gaps in immunization coverage, which we know can leave kids vulnerable and possibly cause an outbreak if we don't have that protection.
A recent poll found certain vaccination rates of kindergartners dropping in the years since the pandemic, falling below the level experts typically recommend to protect communities from disease transmission. The country this year experienced its worst measles outbreak in more than 30 years, resulting in 3 deaths. Parents who skipped the vaccine cited concerns about side effects, a lack of trust in safety, and a belief that not all recommended vaccines are necessary.
We see that misinformation is still an issue. And this shows us that we still need to do some education when it comes to the schedule and why kids are getting the shots that they are when they are.
The data shows while most parents view childhood vaccines as safe and important, they're less confident in the flu and COVID shots. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. continues to question the safety of some vaccines. Just yesterday, he appointed 5 new members to the CDC's Advisory Committee, a panel responsible for making vaccine recommendations. Some of the new members have previously been skeptical of vaccines.
And that panel meets this week to discuss vaccines for COVID and other diseases. As for that new poll, it found that the parents most likely to opt out of child vaccines were Republicans, younger parents, and those who homeschool their children. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
Heart attacks are still rare in younger adults, but a new study shows they are happening more often, especially in women under 40. And not all of them are caused by clogged arteries. Researchers say 1 in 10 heart attacks in women under 65 is linked to a condition called spontaneous coronary artery dissection, or SCAD, where a tear in the artery cuts off blood flow. It's nearly 6 times more common in women than men and can strike even healthy, active women. Doctors hope the study raises awareness so these cases are not missed or misdiagnosed. OpenAI is pulling back the curtain on how people are really using ChatGPT. A new study looked at more than 1.5 million chat logs worldwide and found most people turn to the chatbot for personal needs, not work. More than 70% of prompts were about schoolwork, fitness tips, or writing help. The biggest group of users is women between 18 and 25. Researchers say ChatGPT is also becoming a go-to replacement for web searches, while others use it for coding, product research, even relationship advice. OpenAI says the chatbot now has over 700 million weekly users. Legendary actor and director Robert Redford has died at the age of 89. A family representative saying he died at his home in Utah early this morning, the place he loved, surrounded by those he loved. No cause of death was provided. ABC's Rena Roy takes a look back at his life and prolific career in Hollywood.
Over a career that spans 6 decades, Robert Redford was one of Hollywood's leading men and most celebrated directors in American cinema. He was the quintessential handsome movie star who starred in classics like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, released in 1969.
I want to fight him. He'll kill us. Maybe. You want to die? Do you?
The Sting.
I want to take over his operation, and I need you to help me break him.
And The Way We Were, sharing the screen with Barbra Streisand.
I'm celebrating.
What are you celebrating?
I got you to cross the street.
The California native's good looks and charismatic performances propelling him to fame. He also took his talents behind the scenes, winning an Oscar for Best Director in 1983 for the film Ordinary People.
Maybe you can't love anybody.
In 2016, he was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom for his significant contributions to American culture. But for Redford, it wasn't about the awards.
I'm not that comfortable celebrating myself, and there's so many red carpets, so many places that I'm more interested in what the purpose is, which is showing the films.
Redford went to college on a partial baseball scholarship, reaching back to his youth, starring as a baseball player in 1984's The Natural. Though he was a mainstay in big studio movies, he was also a supporter of independent filmmakers, using the millions he made to launch the Sundance Institute and Festival in the 1970s.
Our job and our role is to create a space and a platform to bring new voices and new ways of seeing the world using independent film to this place. That's it. We're not interested in the money. That's somebody else's issue.
A family representative says Redford died at his home in the Sundance Mountains of Utah, the place he loved, surrounded by those he loved. He's survived by his wife and 3 of his children. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
We were comparing favorite movies with Redford, and to me it was The Way We Were. Lots of romance in there, but with him and Paul Newman, that's a lot of blue eyes right there.
It sure is, sure is. He had a wonderful career.
Wonderful. Good afternoon, everybody. 88 degrees right about now. Another day where we get up into the 90s. We probably peaked out at 91 this afternoon, and I'm thinking that as we get closer to the weekend, we'll start dropping the temperature a little bit. I've got some news for you, but it's still going to be about a week from now. So we'll be talking about hopefully some fallish kind of weather coming in a little bit later on. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Well, we started something about a week and a half ago that I didn't expect to go this long, but it's as long as you send the pictures, we'll put them up. And thanks to Judy Herman, who sent us this photo. This is another one of the hummingbird photos and the feeder. Look at how many. Look at that. Just at lunchtime here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's at least 12 of them right there. Can you imagine if you multiply that by the entire area of the crossroads, how many of them are coming through? So they're all moving through for the fall migration, headed down to South America for the winter. So they're pretty smart. So thanks for the photos. If you send them, I'll use them. It's simple as that. Here's Victoria. We had one little shower late this afternoon that developed just north of the I-59, right about there. You can see it going through Cuero and sort of falling apart. Not as intense as yesterday afternoon when we did get 1 to 2 inches of rain in some areas. And here's where all the rain actually did occur. So it's just north of the city off of 77 and going over there to the Cuero area. A little bit of rain also down here in the Vanderbilt area. So, yep, a little sprinkle here, a sprinkle there, and that's about it. Other than that, deep South Texas, south of Corpus Christi, they did get more shower activity as well. Remember, it's been about a week now. We're dry and they're wet, and they're not that far away. So we take a look at our picture, and we see the humidity, or the cloud cover, which is the humidity, right just along the immediate coastline, and not much else happening in the state of Texas. We're basically waiting for the next big frontal system, and we just don't see one close by. Now, there's one, but that one's just going to stall somewhere near Amarillo and basically move east. It's out here, this one. This is about 5-7 days from now. That promises to be a big cold front. Big enough to actually, when I say big, I mean big enough to actually make it to here. So with a little luck, 7 days from now, we may see a north wind and a little freshness in the atmosphere. We are looking, of course, at the Gulf of Mexico, a little bit of activity here off of Cuba, but it's not organized. You can see no center to that. Right about here, we have the development of what is going to become Gabrielle, and 90% chance of it developing. The good news is that it's going to be going north of the Lesser Antilles. It may affect Bermuda, but at this point in time, it's going to be, I think, a Category 2 at its strongest. So we'll watch and wait for that. And behind it, right here off West Africa, we have another potential. The other one that was on the Pacific side is Mario. Mario continues to fall apart, but you see where the moisture is going? Yeah, look at that again. It goes this way, it crosses over, and it's going into the desert Southwest. So this is going to bring rain to Arizona and New Mexico. I'm not so sure West Texas, but for sure that they're going to get some of that lingering effects from a storm that is basically out in the Pacific. So let's take a look at your temperatures. Not a whole lot of change in the short term, but in the long term, we start seeing a gradual drop in temperatures. Now, we're looking for a 93 tomorrow with partly cloudy skies. Cuero gets up to about 94. We took a look at our 7-day, and here's what's interesting. Next Monday, right here, is the absolute beginning of fall. That's the day that all the leaves turn colors. No, they don't really, but that's the day when we go below 90 degrees as an average high temperature. So I'm hoping that by 7 days, we might actually be at an 88 or an 89, but I'm not asking for much, you know. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. We'd love for you to scan that, put Crossroads Day on your phone. Give me a little bit more time, Sean. I'll get you fall weather coming soon.
All right, the leaves do change, just not here in the Crossroads. You have to travel to see them. Well, still to come, credit scores are dropping like it's 2009 all over again. What this means for your financial future. The market closing down today. The Dow dropped 126 points, the S&P 500 slid 9 points, and the Nasdaq down 15 points. Oil is up $1.24 to $64.55 per barrel. The Federal Reserve is expected to cut interest rates for the first time since December. The decision could come tomorrow when the Fed wraps up its two-day policy meeting. The move is aimed at giving a boost to the slowing job market. It also comes as the Fed weighs the impact of President Trump's tariffs, with officials saying any inflation from them may not last long. If approved, this would be the first rate cut in 9 months, lowering borrowing costs in hopes of steadying the economy. Americans kept spending in August, even with worries about the economy, fewer jobs, and higher tariffs. Retail sales rose 0.6%, the same as July's revised number, and stronger than the small increase economists expected. Employers have slowed down hiring, and President Trump's tariffs are starting to push up some prices. But so far, consumers have not really pulled back. Analysts say people who keep spending, or may keep spending rather, unless layoffs start to climb. And meanwhile, credit scores are dropping faster than they have since the Great Recession. The national average FICO score fell 2 points this year, the biggest drop since 2009. Scores are still higher than back then, but this is the second year in a row they have fallen. More borrowers are falling behind on car loans, credit cards, and personal loans. Younger Americans are feeling it the hardest, juggling high student debt and a tough job market. The trend highlights a growing gap between Wall Street and Main Street. Stocks are hitting record highs, while a lot of everyday Americans say they are struggling. Coming up, a North Texas mom finds unexpected visitors lounging on her patio furniture. Spoiler alert, they're not paying the rent.
Tonight, the suspect accused of killing Charlie Kirk faces charges in court. The latest evidence made public, plus tributes to movie legend Robert Redford, his remarkable legacy on camera and behind the scenes. World News Tonight with David Muir is the most watched newscast in America.
A North Texas mom got a big scare when she found 2 coyotes napping on her back patio furniture. Check that out. Cecilia Clark now spots the animals near her home almost every day and worries about her 6-month-old baby. She has bought solar-powered motion sensor repellents and is reinforcing her fence. Last year, coyotes even attacked 3 children at a North Arlington park. That's scary.
Yeah.
City officials say sightings are not unusual, and they remind residents to secure trash and keep pet food indoors. But for Clark, 1 coyote is already too many.
Well,
But, you think, okay, you might find like a stray cat.
yeah, but they're
Possum.
living next to the woods there, so,
Yeah.
it's inevitable. The thing is, at least the coyotes were resting. They weren't chewing up the furniture, that's,
True.
that would have been worse.
And they ran off when she.
Party's up, guys. Let's go. Well, folks, we are still looking at temperatures in the 90s, but slowly but surely, within the next 7 days, we're going to get down to about 90 and then into the early 80s. Let me tease you. What's today? Monday is the 22nd. So on the 30th, right now, I'm looking at temperatures in the mid 80s. Okay.
Ooh.
So we still got a good 2 weeks to go. Shauna?
Okay. Well,
At
least we know it's coming. It's on the horizon.
Yeah, be optimistic. Look forward.
Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here in 30 minutes after World News Now with David Muir. Have a good evening.